Hey there, friend. So, you know how sometimes you pick up a book and it just hits differently? Like a direct, no-nonsense conversation with a really blunt, wise friend? Well, that's exactly how I felt diving into Gary John Bishop's Unfuk Yourself. I picked it up because honestly, the title alone promised something truly raw and real, and let me tell you, it delivered. This isn't your typical think positive and everything will be great kind of read. Oh no, this is a conversational slap from the universe, as he puts it, designed to wake you up and get spectacularly into your life. At its heart, this book is all about taking absolute, unapologetic responsibility for your life and understanding that your actions, not just your thoughts, are what truly define you and create your reality. It's this incredibly liberating, yet sometimes uncomfortable idea that you're the cavalry you've been waiting for. You know, that constant internal chatter, that little voice that tells you you're lazy or not good enough, or that you've always messed things up. Gary Bishop says we're caught in this loop, and most of our daily conversations are actually with ourselves, right there in our heads. And here's the kicker: studies show we have over 50,000 thoughts a day, and the language we use to describe our circumstances profoundly affects how we see, experience, and participate in them. It's not just some woo-woo idea. Neuroscience and psychology back it up. Positive self-talk can boost your mood, confidence, and productivity, but the reverse is also terrifyingly true. Negative self-talk can leave you feeling helpless and even create problems where none existed. Now, before you think, oh, so it's another one of those books about affirmations, hold up. Gary is very clear. This isn't about telling yourself you're a tiger when you're clearly not. Because, well, you're not a tiger. He's too Scottish for that kind of maple syrup and candy cane nonsense. This book is about an authentic leg up, a genuine shift that propels you towards your true potential. So, if it's not just about thinking positive, what's the real secret? It comes down to what he calls assertive self-talk versus what he labels a streaming narrative. Think about it. How many times have you said, I will start that diet tomorrow, or I'm going to get a new job? He argues that this narrative, this I will or I'm going to, subconsciously pushes things into the future, making it easy to abandon New Year's resolutions. Instead, he pushes for phrases like I am, I embrace, or I accept, powerful commanding uses of language that stake a claim for this very moment. There's a massive difference, he says, between I am relentless and I will be relentless. One intervenes in your life now, the other describes something yet to come. And this brings us to the 7 personal assertions that are the backbone of the book, each designed to empower you. First up, I am willing. This one really hit me. Garrett posits that you have the life you're willing to put up with. He's brutally honest. If you hate your job, get a new one. If you're in a bad relationship, end it. Even after tragic events like losing a loved one, you have a massive say in how you live your life in the aftermath. He says you must stop blaming luck, other people, circumstances, your childhood, all of it. It's about taking 100% responsibility for your response to life. And here's an interesting twist: sometimes declaring I am unwilling can be just as powerful. I am unwilling to live with an unhealthy body. I am unwilling to continue living paycheck to paycheck. This ignites resolve and determination, creating a line in the sand where you refuse to go back. It's about finding what truly motivates you to change. Then there's I am wired to win. This chapter really messes with your head in a good way. What if I told you that even when you think you're losing, you're actually winning? He gives this great example of someone constantly searching for love, only to have relationships end the same way, over and over. Gary suggests that you're winning at proving a subconscious belief, right? Perhaps that you're not worthy of love, or that you'll always mess things up. Your brain is constantly pushing you towards your goals, even if those goals are self-defeating and hidden in your subconscious. The key here is to uncover what you're actually winning at, then consciously redirect that incredible winning mechanism towards what you really want. It's about breaking through those conclusions you've made about yourself that limit your potential. Next is I got this. You know those days when everything feels like it's going wrong? A flat tire, a broken phone, a bad night's sleep, and suddenly, your whole life feels tainted? Gary says these are just some things in a sea of some things. To put things in perspective, he asks you to imagine your life as a railroad track. Look back at all the good and bad you've overcome. You got through it. Now, look forward at all the untapped potential. This exercise helps you realize that your current problems, no matter how real and painful, are just another bump in the road. You've handled challenges before, and you will again. It's about reminding yourself of your inherent resilience. You got this. This leads us to embrace the uncertainty. We're addicted to certainty, aren't we? We want to know what's going to happen, where to go, how things will turn out, but this aversion to risk, once a survival instinct, now keeps us from truly living. Gary's profound insight here is that uncertainty is where new happens. It's your pathway to opportunity, growth, and unprecedented results. Think about it. How can you go to new places if you never leave the house? Success is never certain and never comes without risk. He reminds us that certainty doesn't even truly exist. It's a complete illusion. So stop running from it and lean into it. The most successful people aren't those who were certain they'd succeed. They succeeded because they didn't let uncertainty stop them. They acted anyway. And yes, if you want to win, you have to be willing to be judged by others. Then there's the assertion that's a direct counterpunch to a lot of common self-help advice. I am not my thoughts, I am what I do. You see quotes everywhere like change your thoughts, change your life, but Gary calls it a complete pile of bullshit. He argues that you are not defined by what's inside your head, you are what you do, your actions. We all have negative thoughts, doubts, and desires to procrastinate. The truly great performers aren't immune to these feelings. They've just learned to experience them while sidestepping the inclination to act upon them. As he says to his clients, you don't have to feel like today's your day, you just have to act like it is. Action doesn't just get things done, it's also the quickest way to change your thoughts and eventually reshape your brain's biology. It's about getting into the zone where internal chatter quiets down, simply because you're busy doing. This connects perfectly to I am relentless. Where do our biggest successes come from? Discomfort, uncertainty, and risk. Relentlessness is the fuel that keeps you moving when all hope and evidence seem to have vanished. It's about refusing to accept limiting thoughts, whether they come from others or your own mind. He talks about the Wright brothers, who were relentless in pursuing human flight despite no historical evidence, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, who relentlessly pursued his dreams from a small Austrian town to Hollywood and beyond. The key is to focus on the problem directly in front of you, one step at a time, until it's taken care of, then move to the next. You're not bashing your fist against a brick wall, you're chipping away at it, piece by piece, until a hole forms and gets bigger. Finally, expect nothing and accept everything. Now, this one sounds passive, right? Like you just give up and let life happen. But Gary argues the opposite. It's a statement of mastery and power. He says our deepest disappointments, resentments, and frustrations stem from hidden expectations, the gap between how we thought something should turn out and how it actually is. He asks you to write down how you expected a situation to go versus how it actually went, and you'll see your pain directly correlates to that gap. By letting go of these expectations, by simply accepting things as they happen, you free yourself to deal with reality as it is. This isn't about condoning bad behavior or giving up on goals. It's about not being derailed by how things should have been. It's about being in a dance with life, where you execute your plan, deal with what happens, and pivot when needed. So, you might be asking, how do I actually do all this? It sounds great in theory, but where do I start? Gary is clear. In order to improve your internal world, you have to start by taking action in the external world. Get out of your mind and into your life. He gives a stark reminder you're going to die, and the only thing futures you will regret is not trying, not striving, not pushing through when things got tough. You won't regret not making $1 million. You'll regret never starting that business. You won't regret not looking like a supermodel. You'll regret living a lie. He boils it down to two simple yet incredibly challenging steps to freedom. 1. Stop doing what you're currently doing that's holding you back. Are you glued to Netflix instead of pursuing your dreams? Eating junk food instead of prioritizing your health? Constantly on social media instead of building real connections? He challenges you to call yourself out on your bullshit. If you really wanted to change, you'd be doing it. 2. Start taking the actions to propel you forward. If you want a new job, apply for one. If you want a better body, hit the gym and change your diet. It's about systematically replacing the old, self-defeating habits with new ones that build the life you truly want. It's about building a case for a new life. I am by Hedum. This book is not about waiting for the perfect mood or for inspiration to strike. or for some cosmic event to force you to action. It's about realizing that you are what you do, not what you say you'll do. It's about seizing the moment, the hour, the week, the month. It's about seizing your entire freaking life. It's a powerful, demanding, but ultimately liberating message that your life, your success, and your happiness are entirely in your own hands. You don't need saving from anyone else, you are your own savior. So, if you've ever felt like the hamster on a wheel, furiously churning but going nowhere, or if you're tired of your internal dialogue holding you back, this book is a must-read. It's direct, it's raw, and it will absolutely challenge you. But it offers a clear path to getting out of your head and spectacularly into your life. It won't be easy. But as Gary Bishop says, you're never going to have a better moment than this moment to start. What are you waiting for?